What was your motivation that kept you streaming and making videos for so long? It's weird. It was never like, I mean, these are both byproducts of my motivation, right? But it was never money. It was never lots of viewers or lots of subscribers. Like, obviously, I was chasing those things, but that wasn't like the root of my motivation. Truthfully, it really wasn't. I remember when I first started watching YouTube videos, I was in high school, it was like middle school, high school, and I started watching Syndicate. I watched his Survival Island series, his hardcore Survival Island series. I remember watching Preston. I remember watching Syndicate's Race to Prestige. Syndicate, the Syndicate project, he's like my main, quite literally the reason why I started making videos. And I think I enjoyed the idea of being one of those guys. I think that was really what motivated me. I enjoyed the idea in my head of playing video games for a living. Like that job title and that job description just seemed like such a flex. Like that seems so cool, right? Like I enjoyed playing games. I enjoyed making videos. If I can make it a career, like that's a cool pursuit and dream to have. And I really want to work for that because I want to be considered one of those guys. That's what I really wanted. I just wanted to be considered, I just wanted to be part of the group. And so, yeah, I wanted to get my sub count up and I wanted videos to get views and stuff. And obviously, you know, the perks that came along with that. And now that I'm finally able to do it, it's just such a cool feeling to know that, you know, I was able to work really hard and be super consistent and make it my job. And I've talked about this before on my stream. I don't really think there's anything super special or unique about me and my ability to make YouTube a job other than the fact that I did not give up, right? I was super consistent and I was my own worst critic. I nitpicked everything and I always tried to improve every little bit of content that I made, right? I would watch other creators. I would, you know, pay attention to what people were saying in the comments. And I always strived, you know, try to make whatever new video I was making better than the last one, right? As I continued to slowly improve my content and get better at commentating, get better at the games that I play, get better at interacting with chat, like all of those things, I was just so hyper focused on growing a brand. And I think at the end of the day, the more I think about it now that I'm older, what I was really chasing was, in a weird way, like this is going to get kind of deep, but in a weird way, I think I was chasing validation and I think I was chasing respect. It's a weird thing to say, but I was never like a super popular kid or a super cool kid, right? Like I feel like I was one of those people in high school where like I had friends and acquaintances that would be considered popular and some that weren't very popular, right? I felt like I was kind of weirdly in the middle. I definitely wasn't a crazy athletic kid and, you know, nobody ever looked up to me in that regard. But I would not have been considered by any means by anybody a cool kid in high school. And that was really kind of like all my academics. I never really had that like self-confidence. I never really had that like that presence, right? But I knew privately and in my own head that I was good at YouTube and I knew I could do that. But I never really had that like, you know, probably a little bit of social anxiety. I just never really had that presence in person. And so that kind of motivated me in a weird way. I think if like a psychologist were to look deep into my head, I think really what I was chasing was respect from my peers, was people looking at me and saying like, wow, that's really cool and commendable what you were able to do, right? So I think now when I look back, really what I was chasing was that validation from other people, right? Like it wasn't really the subscriber count. It wasn't the views. It wasn't the money. It wasn't fame. To a degree, it was wanting to be part of that group, but it was wanting to be part of that group because of how cool and prestigious that group of people was who were able to do YouTube full time. And because that was my pursuit, I was able to satisfy this other desire in me that really just wanted respect from people. And I don't know, I could be wrong. Maybe as I grow up and I keep reflecting back on my motivation, it'll be different. But I think if I'm being 100% honest, I think that's really what I crave. I want to be somebody who is respected by my peers in real life, by my family, by the people who watch me, right? That's what I really was always chasing, I think. I think I just wanted people to respect me. It wasn't attention or money or anything like that, but I think that's what I was really chasing after. And it still is. I think that still is my motivation. And I think that's kind of why I'm still doing it, right? I think what I'm saying is that's what motivates me to continue doing YouTube, is it's continuously chasing that respect from other people. And I think in a lot of ways, that's kind of what everybody's always chasing. I don't know. This whole topic kind of turned really deep. But I think that's really what I'm after. Is respect. I want to be somebody that people look to either for advice, or I want to be somebody that people look to or look up to, right? Like I want to be a role model for people. I think that's really what I'm after. You know, kind of a weird thing to say, but everyone wants acceptance and respect. And I think that's really what I was after and still am.